Where the hell is he going?
Yeah.
Hey, it is getting interesting. The conversation right now is that there's 3 teams in the hunt. And this is coming from Jeremy Fowler, who covered Le'Veon Bell whenever he was at the Pittsburgh Steelers. So let's assume maybe they had a good relationship and he has an inside scoop on this. Right now, the conversation is around the Chiefs, because the rich get richer and they could use him in the backfield, I guess. The Bills, because they are like 26th or 28th in rushing in the NFL. And if Josh Allen had Le'Veon Bell, that would be awesome. And the Dolphins are very much in the hunt. That has come out that the Dolphins are really trying to make a play here. Now, it is very intriguing because the Jets' next 3 opponents are the Dolphins, the Bills, and the Chiefs. So if this is a spite sign out of Le'Veon Bell, we respect it even more. Don't think he'll be able to play this weekend for any team that he signs for because of the COVID-19 protocol, 2-day this, that thing. But he did just come from a place where he's in the protocol. So if he passes 2, is he automatically back? And if he takes that now, will he be able to be good? Let's assume he misses this week wherever he signs. But if you look at those 3 teams, and the Kansas City Chiefs, if they pull this off, it'll be even more amazing that they have this money. Now, granted, the Jets have to pay for everything that the signing team doesn't pay up to $6 million. So we assume everybody's going to pay him $850,000 or $875,000, whatever it is, which is the veteran minimum deal, and then just have the Jets pick up the tab on the other side, 5.125 million, and have Le'Veon Bell and the team say, fuck you to the Jets.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is exactly what they would do. But if you look at the Dolphins and the Bills, and I think at Boston Connor might have brought this up earlier, or somebody else, or Gumpy did, who's a diehard fan of the Dolphins, isn't it interesting that the AFC East now, he was on the Jets, they're obviously getting rid of him, but the other 2 teams, yes, he would obviously be good for their team, and in Miami, who knows how that'll be off the field, because that is where his rap career was taking off the year he held out. Yeah. But are the Bills and the Chiefs like, well, we can't have Belichick get this guy, and he would help our team. Let's go ahead and make a play. And I think to Gumpy, as a Dolphins fan, it doesn't matter if it's B-Flow trying to make sure Belichick doesn't get him, or if it's the Dolphins saying, fuck you to Gase again. You don't care how you get Le'Veon Bell on your team. You're pumped for him, right?
1 game out of a playoff spot, baby. We get Bell. We're right in the mix.
Do you think Miami could potentially be problematic for Le'Veon Bell off the field? Because we saw his holdout year. We're talking yachts, jet skis, rap album release parties at 2 a.m. Yeah. He had a good time. It was actually, it was entertaining to follow along. You know, he comes back into football, says he still has more to prove. He's focused on football. But do you think the distractions of South Beach might be too much for a guy who already got to experience it for an entire year, Gumpy?
But if he also wants to get paid next year, get another big deal, he has to show up this year, right?
Oh, so what is the motivation? Is it the yachts and the thoughts, or is it the big cash? That is the question that we're going to have to ask. And I'm intrigued to see how it all works out. I got a DM from somebody last night that told me that Le'Veon Bell was spotted in a Buffalo airport last night.
Wow. Whoa.
I have a friend that works at the Anchor Bar in the Buffalo airport, which I have eaten at, by the way. I have eaten at that said exact restaurant. Not a lot of options in the Buffalo airport to eat, by the way. The Anchor Bar is basically the only place you can go and will go. So although the source was not anybody I knew or anywhere near legitimate, I just wanted to put out a feeler. Does Bills Mafia need Le'Veon Bell? And there was a lot of Buffalo Bills fans that were like, absolutely, that would help our rush. And then there was a lot of Buffalo Bills fans that were like, don't need him in the culture. Is Le'Veon Bell in the same conversation? And I'm not saying that person was right or wrong, and that's why I'm not in the insider news world, because there's reports that he was also in Kansas City in the airport too. So you never know. You can't. That's why I'm not an insider, because I do potentially get scoops, but said scoops could come from said stooge that is making things up. That could be, kind of doing the old bait for me. So I just kind of stay out of that game. We let the professionals do it unless they want to sell Manscaped stuff, and then get them out of the tour.
Yeah.
Kick them out of the tour.
Promo code rap sheet.
Yeah, have to do it. At least get him a little bit more money on the backside of that thing. So when I asked if Buffalo needed him, a lot of Buffalo Bills fans, Bills Mafia said, no, we don't need him in our culture. We don't need that. Is Le'Veon Bell at that point? Because if you listen to Pittsburgh Steelers fans, when he and AB left Pittsburgh, they were the toxic twins, is what Mark Madden called them. In Pittsburgh was like, get them the hell out, right? Just get them. Le'Veon Bell held out. They're like, we hate him, keep it moving. Then what happened with Antonio Brown off the field, everywhere else? Pittsburgh Steelers fans are like, we were right about that. But the way everything has happened off the field for Lev Bell and on the field and the way he's spoken about Pittsburgh, it feels like Steelers fans are like, hey, we'll take him right back in Pittsburgh if he wants to. He kind of separated himself from that bad image. Is it because he liked 2 tweets that said Adam Gase was a stooge, which is what everybody's thinking, that they're saying he's bad for the culture? In my eyes, I think of Le'Veon Bell. I'm not thinking like, is this guy going to come through Miley Cyrus wrecking ball into our locker room? I don't think that. Like, I think, oh, is this guy going to try? Is this guy going to be the guy he was from 3 years ago or not? That's my only thoughts. The amount of tweets that I got from people saying he'll ruin our culture, I was like, holy shit. Like, that's what people think of Le'Veon Bell. That was interesting to me.
I think he definitely has that reputation kind of. When he was in Pittsburgh, we were definitely upset when he sat out, but it was because of money. It was never anything in the locker room, anything like that. When he left or whatever, when he got his money, it seemed like teammates on the Pittsburgh Steelers were happy for him. Completely different one from what Antonio Brown, what was coming out of the locker room about Antonio Brown.
And Le'Veon Bell got in trouble for smoking a blunt with Blunt, right? Isn't that something that happened?
Yeah, but that was.
But to be honest, now that we're learning more and more, hopefully those people that maybe judge him for that, and we're learning more and more about potentially the people who are doing the same exact recreational activities, just not as dumb doing it in a car, which, by the way, not safe. Don't do it. Very stupid. Very, very, very stupid.
Very stupid.
Brutal.
Just so dumb.
I mean, can't be doing it.
And somebody in our office potentially has the same exact rap sheet as Le'Veon Bell,
Right.
that we did not know about.
Yeah.
Somebody potentially has the same exact thing, and it is so dumb to do that. And I would assume that could be your takeaway, is like, hey, very stupid to be in that situation, obviously. But it's not like he was trying to bury that team by doing that.
He was also very young with a veteran in that situation. So.
And by the way, that team was successful, those two. So I think maybe we should bring that into perspective. So I don't know the people that are like, this guy stinks. It's like, I don't know.
I think it was more so his agent than him.
Yeah, whenever he was like, this is what we want, we expect this, he kind of looked like but that's business, right? So when NFL teams do business in a fashion that's scumbaggish, people are like, oh, Foxy, this is what they say.
That's business, baby.
That's literally what they say. But whenever Le'Veon Bell's agent was doing the exact same thing, now granted, it did not always sound like, oh, that's how a human should speak about himself. But that's them doing business that way. But I think since him getting his deal done and moving forward, I think that has almost been forgotten about, but not by a lot of people, apparently. I was wrong, and I misread that. What's up, at Nick Morado?
Yeah, like things iterated earlier, there weren't like major things. There were just little things with Lev, like him missing the walkthrough before the Jaguars game of a playoff game.
Can't do that, by the way.
He seemed to always end up hurt in the big games, in the playoff game against the Patriots too. That you can't blame him for that, but fans obviously are not the most rational.
No, you can blame him for missing a walkthrough the day before a playoff game. I did not know that happened. So now that news is kind of showing up in my life here, maybe it is like a question like, this guy isn't that committed.
He also, with the Jets, I believe he missed practice on Thursday and Friday and then went bowling on Saturday and missed the game on Sunday. That was that whole thing last year. But that was with the Jets, so I don't know if you hold that. 251.
Oh, wow.
Pretty good. So
how does he keep bowling 251 if he doesn't fucking practice? What, just because he can't take a shot to the skull on a Sunday, he's not allowed to roll some balls to keep his 251 average up?
Get the guy in the PBA. Jesus.